Could this be AJ Styles' final year in WWE? The backstage moment between him and Nick Aldis on Smackdown made it very likely, because AJ said, "I don't have time." Could this be a sign that he's retiring? Or could he just leave WWE to end his career in AEW? The WWE is seemingly booking a storyline with AJ where he's getting more and more desperate as the weeks go by, as he's moving further and further away from the main title picture. And I think WWE could be heading in a certain direction that I haven't really seen anybody else talk about. I'll get into more of that later. Of course though, there's a couple different ways they could go about this, and one very possible direction they could go is him being traded to Raw. Now if you've been paying attention to Raw lately, you would notice that Braun Breaker is another guy seemingly frustrated with his position on the show, being excluded from the King of the Ring, and feeling like he isn't really being put up against opponents that's worth his time. I would agree. I could easily see Nick Aldis trading AJ for Braun Breaker, and sure, would it be silly that Braun went from SmackDown to Raw and then back to SmackDown? Yeah. But Baron Corbin is currently on SmackDown, and for those who watch NXT, you'd know that Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin were a tag team, and I think being a tag team on SmackDown would be a great fit for both of them, because I don't really think Braun is winning any single titles anytime soon. And if him and Baron are in the tag team, winning the tag titles would be a great way to make him look strong. And with AJ being moved to Raw, it opens many opportunities for dream matches that we could see if this is truly his final year in WWE. You're going to want to get as much out of him as we can before he decides to leave. Much like how AEW is handling Bryan Danielson at the moment. Tony Khan knows this is Bryan's final full-time year in AEW, so that's why we got the match everyone and their mother wanted to see, which was him versus Will Ospreay. Now, two big dream matches that come to mind for AJ Styles being on Raw is Gunther and CM Punk. Now tell me you wouldn't want to see those matches. There's no way we shouldn't be getting a match between AJ and CM Punk when you have both guys on the same roster and on the same show. Now, technically AJ versus Gunther happened already at some house show in late 2022, but yeah, we don't count that. I've also heard another way they could be going about this entire thing is this could be a way to get Nick Aldis back into in-ring competition and to get him out of his GM role. You know, maybe AJ will drive him so crazy that he'll take matters into his own hands. No matter what happens with AJ in WWE though, another huge possibility is him going to AEW to finish his career there and get all the dream matches out of the way before he hangs it up. Very much like what Adam Copeland's doing, and you know, for one, I think a lot of us know how much AJ has had an influence on Will Ospreay, and I don't think there's a lot of us who wouldn't want to see that match. But in my personal opinion, I think AJ should stick his career out until at least 2026, as that would mark 10 full years in WWE for him. And I feel AEW is bloated as is, and doesn't really need AJ on their roster. Sure, there are many dream matches for him to have in AEW, not just against Will Ospreay, but another one is obviously AJ versus Kenny Omega. But there are still a ton of dream matches left for him in WWE too, and we don't even know how soon Kenny would be able to come back to have a match with AJ anyway. But ultimately, of course, it is up to the guy himself, and no matter where AJ decides to go, I'll for sure be following him and supporting his choice and watching every match he has, because AJ is undoubtedly a future Hall of Famer. But let's get back to that one statement that AJ said to Nick Aldis that I think caught our attention the most: "I don't have time." Now, what did he mean by that? Here's my theory. I think there's going to be a lot of similarities between this and one of my favorite storylines of all time, which is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. The story where Shawn was so obsessed with defeating the Streak after failing his first attempt at WrestleMania 25. I think we could be seeing the exact same thing happen here with AJ, except he'll be obsessed with wanting to win the WWE Championship one last time, but will ultimately fail, just like Shawn Michaels did, and it will cost him everything. I think throughout the weeks, we'll be seeing AJ push Nick Aldis more and more, and he'll somehow eventually get his rematch with Cody, but with one of the biggest risks on the line, which is his career. I mean, look at some of the similarities early on.
Teddy, I need you to trade me to Smackdown. You can do this. Make it happen. Do it now.
Just need one more chance. Nick, I need this.
Now, of course, with Shawn Michaels, his was far more aggressive than AJ, but I wouldn't be surprised if throughout the weeks we start to see AJ getting a little bit more aggressive with Nick as he's getting more and more desperate and more obsessed with trying to get that one last chance at Cody. And just like that Shawn Michaels and Teddy Long segment, Nick Aldis declined AJ's request.
Shawn, I would love to have you, but the Smackdown Elimination Chamber match, it's already set. I mean, I can't change it just because you want in.
AJ, that's not something I can help you with. I'm sorry.
Could I be looking too far into this? Well, probably. But if this is AJ's retirement tour, if you will, he deserves nothing less than an emotional, dramatic storyline that leads to his retirement, just like Shawn Michaels got. Will we start seeing AJ Styles screw over Cody Rhodes in his title matches and just starting to become a problem for both Nick and Cody? Who knows, and maybe AJ himself will even put his career up on the line just so that he can get one last title match, because he believes so heavily that he could beat Cody, just as Shawn Michaels thought he could beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now, no matter where they decide to go with this storyline seemingly is going to be very interesting, and I can't wait to see where they take it. However, I'm selfishly wishing that I am correct about this, because AJ definitely deserves a huge send-off for his incredible career, even just in WWE. It's something to be remembered for, and I hope that's honored. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you could hit subscribe and hit a like, I would appreciate that very much. And feel free to comment below. I would love for you guys to start some sort of conversation in the comments section. I'm trying to grow a passionate fan base about pro wrestling and just the general love of pro wrestling. So yeah, thank you so much for watching again, and take care.